In today's video, we are going into your questions and answers about the lettings and property market in 2026 as we come to the Renters Reform Bill, which is just around the corner, or may even be in place, depending on when you watch this. We just wanted to get into the questions and see how we can help you and hopefully add a little bit of value. So my name is Ehsan Ahmed. I am the founder of Right Room. We are a specialist lettings and guaranteed rent company based in London, with offices also in the South Coast. And yeah, will letting agents become more expensive? I would think so. As compliance workloads grow, there's a lot more management required, even from a tenancy perspective. So yeah, I would definitely assume the cost would increase, but good agents will save landlords far more in fines, voids, and mistakes. So that's what you've got to sort of weigh. And that's ultimately what it comes down to, because with the new renters reform regulation, the amount of ways within which you can get fined is astonishing. And the amount of help that's now being given to tenants in order to be able to fine, again, is quite vast. But I actually view that as a good thing, because if it forces us as agents and landlords to step up, where we may have been lax in the past, where we may have been a little bit more chilled in our way of working. Now that you know this is out there, it forces the good to get better, and it forces the weak and those who can't keep up to exit the market. And you know, a lot of landlords, for a lot of landlords and for a lot of agents, this time is a real crossroads, because it's such a huge change that you have to stay on top of. And I feel like the smart landlords will be working with smart agents. They'll be collaborating for sure. And I also feel that the weaker landlords and the ones who are not up to speed, who are maybe doing this as a side hobby or whatever, they're the ones who will look at this as a time to get out, which makes sense, because it's a lot to risk, especially if you're doing it yourself. But all said and done, whatever's happened in the past has happened. We are now at this juncture where we have to be prepared for this. Is this going to stay in place forever? I don't know. But it is here now. And we have to be in a position where we are prepared across the board, we are protected across the board, and we go above and beyond, knowing that the seriousness of this could be huge. So we as a company are definitely doing that. We're helping our landlords do that. And it's going to require extra resources. It's going to require extra costs. But in the long run, I do feel it will be worth it. Your standard let-only, letter-managed services with the additional rent protection / rent guarantee, charge you for the inventory, and a markup for any maintenance that you require. That's not the only thing that we do. So we are able to facilitate rent guarantee or guaranteed rent, whatever you want to call it, based on relationships that we have, and that means that we as a company guarantee your rent. We guarantee that over a period of 2 to 5 years, and effectively we work to provide you a solution based on what you want. So if you want maximum income and you just want a tenant, you'd go down the let-only route, which we can cater to. If you want let-only and you want us to manage it, and you don't want no guarantee, you want to have full understanding of who's in there, and you want to have a little bit more flexibility, then maybe let a manager is better for you. And lastly, if you're a landlord who just wants to be hands-off, you don't want any involvement whatsoever, and you effectively want it FRI, which is fully repairing and insuring in the commercial world, then you'd go for guaranteed rent. Either way, you choose us. What are some of the fines that you've seen come into place over the last years and especially going forward. So the biggest fines that I've seen coming into place at this moment in time is predominantly rent repayment orders. So rent repayment orders, a property is not licensed and it's being rented as a HMO, and the tenants can go to, via the council, a first tier tribunal and look to get a refund of the rent up to 12 months. The bad news is that 12 months is going to be increasing, I believe not straight away, maybe in 6 months or so, to 24 months. And, you know, this is a situation where both the the agent and the landlord can be held liable. So it's a real risk. And we have seen many malicious attempts by tenants to take advantage of this, which is sickening. You know, situations where maybe the landlord has applied for a HMO license, and the council hasn't processed it for 3 years, and the tenant can't get sight of that and has no idea, and then the landlord gets a rent repayment order case for no reason. There's tenants out there who absolutely try and take advantage. Not saying that all tenants are like this, but ultimately, yeah, that's the biggest fine I've seen, or the biggest means of fines. Also, it can come from just lack of communication with tenants. So, for example, if a tenant's got a problem and you're nowhere to be seen, they could then go to the council. The council gets involved. They could give you a civil penalty, and that's another way in which you can be fined. So all of these just require us to step up. Yes, it's more expense. Yes, it's more overhead. Yes, it requires a lot more resources and regulation and compliance. But I feel like if we can get through this phase, then everything else is opportunity. I truly believe that.